Hello, this is Killican, and as mentioned before, I love movies and video games. And while cheap cash-ins dating back to the Atari system make it seem their joining together creates abominations, some movie licensed games are actually pretty good, and even some of the imperfect ones are still pretty fun. Don't believe me? Well, feast your eyes, cause these are my top 10 movie-based video games. Starting off with number 10, we have James Cameron's Avatar: The Game. This one got mostly mediocre reviews, and yeah, I see why, but it's basically the Avatar version of Battlefront, and I think it works. Plus, you can play as the RDA. Not generally big on playing the bad guy, but if you're as nauseated with Hollywood's obsessive environmentalism as I am, let me tell you, it's therapeutic. How dare I, Greta? Very easily. Up next with number 9 is Stranglehold. This game is a direct sequel to John Woo's magnum opus Hard Boiled, in which both director and star return, and it's pretty awesome. It's Max Payne with more destructive environments and a less depressing tone, dual-wielding, slow-mo, bullet dodging, and one of the most likable cops in action movie history. Need I say more? With number 8, we trade in the badge for uniform in Captain America Super Soldier. Set somewhere between the middle and the end of the first Captain America movie, it's basically a marriage of the best parts of both Wolfenstein and Batman Arkham Asylum. Bashing Hydra Nazis with Cap's trusty shield to thwart Red Skull's diabolical schemes. Just what the movie was, and just what the game should be. Nothing groundbreaking, but a movie license done right. Now whip out the boomstick for number 7, Evil Dead Regeneration. As a big fan of the films, I especially love that the game opens with an abridged, interactive retelling of the second movie. The combat was intense, the humor witty, and until Stars came along, this was the best chance we fans had for a continuation of the series. Plus, the real selling point, Bruce freaking Campbell. What can you say about him? Really, what? Yeah, I gotta say it once. Groovy. Yeah, I'm working on it. Well, strap in for a three-way in number 6, Alien vs. Predator 2010. Another game with mediocre reviews that I just can't help but love. It gives you a chance to wear the boots of a colonial marine, blasting away at xenomorphs with shotties, pulse rifles, and my personal favorite, the smart gun. Not only do you lock horns with Xenos and Predators, but you can play as both. And while the Xeno controls can be a bit clunky, it's a total power trip to play as two of the most formidable monsters in movie history. Speaking of which, up next with number 5, we have Peter Jackson's King Kong, the video game. Already set in a great film, but it's also the survival action thriller we Jurassic Park fans have always wanted. The 1930s setting is awesome, and something about blasting away at raptors and Rexes with a Tommy gun, tossing aside the spent weapon, and thrusting a spear just screams masculinity. And if that's not enough, you also get to play as the mighty Kong himself. I swear I could feel that V-Rex's skull pop. Talk about a power trip, right? Number 4 should practically go without saying, Ghostbusters, the video game. Where to even begin? The entire original cast, minus Sigourney Weaver, but plus Von Sydow from the second film. Dan Aykroyd and the late Harold Ramis co-penned the script, roasting Stay Puft a second time, finally nabbing that obnoxious shushing librarian ghost, and the greatest theme song in history. Plus, of course, everyone's favorite, Slimer. That cute little guy. For number 3, it's off to space where no one can hear you scream with Alien Isolation, a game that captures the sheer terror of one of the greatest sci-fi horror films in history. I honestly bought the game mainly for the DLC, where you play through the events of Alien as Ridley. Not generally a fan of the Outlast-style run and hide with no weapon game type, but this one does it right. The flamethrower really did it for me. I remember my first time walking up to Mr. Xeno with the flamer and saying, "Hey, I'm here with the boys club, and I'm here to throw down." Yeah, I did just quote Master Shake, and I refuse to apologize. Deal with it. And at number 2, Star Wars Battlefront. The original one, not that EA shit. There were a lot of Star Wars games I could have done for this one. There was Old Republic, Jedi Outcast, Jedi Academy, even the new Jedi Fallen Order. But I had to go with this one for the sheer entertainment value of fighting the famous battles of the movies as a foot soldier. A very basic but good concept. A battle arena modeled after scenes from the movies. You pick a side, a soldier type, and you fight. Even on the old consoles, the battles were intense and explosive. Live the dream of all those kids with action figures, and may the Force be with you. And for number 1, Terminator Resistance. I've covered this one extensively in a previous video, but please let me reiterate what a love letter this is to everyone's favorite Arnold flicks. Now, it's not perfect, some graphics could be better, and occasionally frame rate drops, but nothing game-breaking. The combat is simple but solid, and it's the long overdue future war adventure, leading right up to John Connor's victory and the capture of the Time Machine. Plus a plethora of Easter eggs, and I swear the best rendition of T2 soundtrack ever. In the final assault on Skynet's core, I found myself cheering as the score played with me blasting away at T-800s. And earlier in the game, when you're unarmed and stealthing past a horde of Terminators, the music was so intense it felt almost survival horror. It was bone-chilling. A great Terminator game, warts and all, and I swear, the best game adaptation of a movie ever. For honorable mentions, we have Batman Begins, a solid stealth actioner, if not as good as the Arkham series. Up next is Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb, a fun, if flawed, interactive Nazi bash and indie flick. And last, but certainly not least, every Kingdom Hearts game. Put together, they're set in about 24 different movies. Always fun, always highly recommended. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace out.